I got you. I got you, Rob. All right. NFC West, does this division belong to the Rams? Give me your preview for the NFC West this upcoming season.
Yeah, I can never count Seattle out because Russell Wilson is just that damn good. But Pete Carroll seems hell bent on doing everything he can to stop Russell Wilson from being as good as he can be. I look at the Rams and there's a lot of 49er fans that say, like, the 49ers own the Rams. What are you worried about? And I think those people are out of their mind. Sean McVay's been winning 10 games and going to the playoffs with Jared Goff as his quarterback. Right. Now he gets Matthew Stafford, a guy that everybody says, we all pretty much agree, Matt Stafford is better than Jared Goff. And so people think Sean McVay is suddenly going to win less with that defense. I think the Rams are going to be a monster. I think they're going to be a big problem. And I clearly see them as the division favorites at number 1. And then I would put Seattle, San Francisco, pretty much a toss-up at number 2. And I have the Cardinals a distant 4th because I don't think Cliff Kingsbury knows a damn thing about defense. And I don't think he can coach his way out of a paper bag.
I'm so with you. His adaptation is lacking in the game, before the game. It's funny. Me and Ryan went over and we debated this division. And this team had more meat on the bone, but it was hard for me to say that I wanted to say them above the Rams, but they would have to stay healthy. Like everyone has to be healthy. And I don't know in any football team, it's very rare that you get an entire season where all of your most important players are healthy. And you saw that from last year, but the talent is there and the coaching is there, but I just don't know if you're going to put it all together. And also going along what you were saying, for them to really beat the Rams, it's going to be Trey Lance would have to be the difference maker, because if you have a whole season of Jimmy Garoppolo, he can't take you to that level to probably get past the Rams in the long run. So I'm with you, but I mean, still, that you guys got some nice treats in the cabinet, to say the least. Last one. Go ahead. What were you about to say?
Well, I was going to say, as long as they don't have waves of injuries, like if Deebo Samuel misses a couple games during the year, but the other receivers are there, they'll figure it out, especially with Kyle Shanahan. Last year, what crushed them is they lost multiple guys at the same spot all at once. Nick Bosa, Solomon Thomas on the defensive line. Ayuk and Deebo Samuel were out at the same time at one point last year. They had waves of injuries at the same spot, and that's what killed them. This year, as long as they don't have that, I think they'll be okay.
All right. And from the outside looking in, the Bears this season, and also how would you bring along Justin Fields? What do you expect from the Bears this season, and how would you bring along Justin Fields?
Okay, see, those are two very different questions. I'm glad you said that. I expect them to go with Andy Dalton to start the season. I don't know why. Everyone can see that Justin Fields is more talented than Andy Dalton. It's clear. Why can't the Bears just say, look, we never thought Justin Fields would fall to us in the draft. We really thought Andy Dalton was going to be our quarterback. We didn't think we'd have a shot at Justin Fields. Lo and behold, he fell. We jumped up. Circumstances have changed, and we have made the move now. Who's going to blame them for that? What is the ceiling of this team if Andy Dalton's the quarterback? Like, do you think they're winning a Super Bowl if they have Andy Dalton?
I don't think they're winning a Super Bowl this year with either one, but they get closer, of course, with Justin Fields than with Andy Dalton, even through the ups and downs. My only fear, and I said it to you, my caveat to you earlier was, and I like this guy, but I hate to say it, is Matt Nagy. He has been the question mark. So, and you haven't seen him to have a cohesive offense. So the fear is, what bad habits may this kid pick up, particularly early? So that's kind of, I was a later on in the season. I've gone to the third game. It's funny that talking about how you want to get ready for the third game against the Packs and you want to start them to get ready and Trey Lance.
Yep.
I've gotten to the point where I'm like, by the third game, just let Justin go out there or whatever. I do not want Justin Fields to face the Rams. I'm telling you, especially, I'm sure you've seen that hit he took this past weekend. Yeah, I don't want any of that action coming from the Rams. All right.
But, and I hear you, I get that. But at the same time, like, those are the teams he's going to have to beat. If he's going to develop into the player that we all think he can be, he's going to have to beat them. You want the Rams saying, I don't want to have to play Justin Fields. You want to flip the script on them. And there are ways to counteract Aaron Donald. He doesn't make every single play. And Justin Fields is so fast. I did not even realize he was as fast as he is. Watching him on the field this preseason, like he's in the Lamar Jackson, like another gear, making the other players go, whoa, that guy's fast. I think you kind of have to put it on him a little bit early to protect himself because, like you said, you don't necessarily have the faith that Matt Nagy is going to put him in the best position to succeed.
Yeah, and one of our guards actually, when he was a rookie, James Daniels, played pretty well against Aaron, but still, I have a fear. And then you have the former Bears, Leonard Floyd on the edge, who they messed that situation up. It's just keep the kid away from me. I'm with you. So you get 2 games, cupcake games, to get your guy ready, and we're throwing him in the fire. And it's just like, I don't know if we have the proper weapons behind him. And I'm not even talking about on the field to help him is kind of the fear. And see, again, this is why when you sit there and try to complain about the years after the 49ers have won the Super Bowl and all look at what we go through here in this type of, like, you have quarterbacks, all right? We've been abused. We're scared of what could happen to our quarterback because we're not used to it. I haven't seen it in my lifetime. My father probably hadn't seen it in his lifetime. So it's a whole different beast out here in the Midwest when it comes to under center.
See, you're frightened into submission almost because you've seen how bad it can go. But, like, don't you want that to end? Haven't you suffered enough? Put Fields out there. You deserve good quarterback play. You deserve a guy that can go out there and compensate for when the perfect play isn't called or when the receiver runs maybe the wrong route or an offensive lineman gets beat. You need a guy that's going to be able to make up for that. Start Justin Fields. Otherwise, you're just guaranteeing yourself more of the same.
I think we should end it on that note. That's a good one. Listen, I'm happy that we staged this intervention. I'm going to spread this to other Bears fans alike.
Yes.
We do deserve what you just said, but it's hard, Rob. It's very hard. We've been told, listen, one day we'll have a discussion about Jay Cutler Day and the celebrations through the streets of Chicago. All right. I mean, there was a celebration. You were talking to people you did not know. Like, we got Jay. Like, that's how huge Jay Cutler being traded here was. You know what I'm saying? So that's been one of the biggest days. And listen, my last part of that. Halfway through that season with Jay Cutler, and mind you, I loved him at Vandy. I wanted Jay Cutler. I was a Jay Cutler stan. Halfway through that season, I said, "Oh my goodness, we got Jeff George." Right, like that's halfway through that season is what it was like, "Oh no, this isn't going to work." Right, like, and again, I don't think that's going to happen here, and I don't think Bears fans think it's going to happen here. But it's also you're looking at Justin Fields, and you're looking at hopefully 15 years of him playing at a high level. And it's kind of like, why even rush it, particularly when we don't know the person who's supposed to help him along is going to be able to help him along. I guess it's kind of the reason for that hesitancy.
But, I mean, doesn't Nagy have an incentive to play Fields? Because if he doesn't win this year, I feel like he's out. So he's got to throw Fields in there because he's his life support. He's his life preserver. Otherwise, he's getting canned.